Hey guys, how are you all? Hope so you all are doing well. Okay, so let's start the story without any further conversation. This is also the one by one, not a series. Jimin, where are you? Jimin, here I am, Taeyang. What, Taeyang? What happens, Taeyang? What you are doing here, Jimin? Jimin, I think I sit here. What you think? Taeyang, Yoongi is finding you. Jimin, he come from. He asked. Being happy and Tang nodded. Tang, yeah, he come. Jimin, but I am still at him. Tang, why, Jimin? He forget to call me last night. He said. Then Tang chuckled. Tang, what I do with you, Jimin? You are literally something. Jimin chuckled. Jimin, I know. He can do anything to talk with me, so I asked him for taking me on shopping like this. He said. Then Tang chuckled. Tang, really, huh? He's Jimin is walking. Jimin is walking back and forth when someone Jimin smile. He turn a little and see Yoongi is looking at him with so many different types of emotions. Jimin turn and see him with a smile. Jimin, you come? He said and him Yoongi back him and hide his face. Jimin, how was your Yoongi back and see him. With done face, Yoongi, you know well. I don't like to talk about work when I am with you. Jimin, I just asked. He said and Yoongi signed. Yoongi, it's good. Anything else? Jimin chuckled. Same, Jimin, I miss you so much. Yoongi, me too. Jimin, so I am at you. He said and Yoongi turned. Yoongi smiled to see him. Yoongi, and may I know the reason? Jimin, you don't call me. I was waiting for your call. Yoongi, and now what I do to your huh? He said. Then Jimin turned. He see him. Jimin, what you do? You can do. He started to think, and Yoongi chuckled to see him as he is looking so beautiful. Jimin, you can take me on shopping. Yoongi, on Saturday, done. Jimin smiled and again him. Jimin, I don't let you go anywhere. Okay. Um. Jimin, yes, he said. Both stay like this for some times, and then after some times back. Jimin, you fresh up. I said made to arrange lunch for you. Yoongi, alright. Both go inside the mansion. Yoongi and Jimin. It's been a year they got, and he come back after 1 week. They do the they do the lunch, and now Yoongi and Jimin is in the Yoongi. You don't know how much I miss you, Jimin. I do more. Yoongi chuckled to see him. Yoongi, so how's your studies? Your studies going, Jimin? It's going good. I have finals. After that, I am free finally. He said and signed. Yoongi smiled to see him. Yoongi, I am proud of you. Jimin smiled to see him. Jimin, I am glad is coming. He said and Jimin become excited. Jimin, oh yeah, it's just a week left. Yoongi, so what gift do you want? Jimin, yeah, you give me gift. He said and started to think. Jimin, what you want? It's your also. Yoongi, I take on that day from you what I want. He said, and Jimin didn't said anything, just nodded, and he started to think. Yoongi him and Jimin look at him, both look at each other for some time. Jimin is the one who look into another side. Alright then, I don't do voiceover on this one. Hmm. Mm, I don't do the voiceover on this one. You all read this by yourself. Hmm. Well, the room is beautiful, is not it? Uh, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Seriously? Today I don't have much notifications. It's alright. And Yoongi and okay, I don't do voiceover on this one also. Like seriously? Hmm. Well, what can I say here? I don't do, so it's mean I don't. Hmm. And okay, so and Yoongi chuckled to see him, and after some time, he also sleep. Okay, so the next scene is next day. Yoongi, Jimin Taeyang, and Jungkook sit in the dining room and doing breakfast. Taeyang, Jimin, you do the assignment. Jimin, yeah. Taeyang, I forget. Jimin, I know. You forget. I do your also. He said and at him. And Taeyang become happy. Taeyang, thanks. I thought I have to hear his boring lecture once again. Jimin, that was so boring. Taeyang, yeah, again and again, same thing. You guys are not serious. Jimin, like, he know we are not. Jungkook, I think you guys someone so much. Taeyang and Jimin, yeah, our professor, they speak together and Yoongi Jungkook chuckle. Yoongi, seriously? Why you him that much Taeyang Hyung? You don't know him again and again. Me and Jimin expect even you guys also know we can easily understand the concept and our class is also good, but he again and again said we need to improve. Jimin, right, we got 100 out of 98, still we need improvement. And he might too, just because of writing like I am kid, seriously. Jiang, I him so much. Jungkook, guys, calm down, calm down. It's okay. Now some weeks are left. Then you so ignore him. Jimin would do that a lot, but he is too much me of. I feel like I him. Jungkook, wow, staying with you. Start to think about doing, huh? Jiang, we add something in his. Jimin, yes, that's right. So he don't. Jiang, exactly. We do this. He said, both do high five. Yoongi signed to see them. Yoongi, don't do anything, okay? Jungkook, you guys think they do? You think they do, huh? Jiang, don't think we can't do. Jungkook, you don't see, and you start. Jimin, so what? We are innocent, Jungkook. That's why I am. I am saying, Kyung, don't worry. You don't do anything, Jimin. Stay silent, you honey bunny. Jungkook, Jimin, don't call me this. I am, please. Jimin, I call you whatever I want. Jiang, seriously, guys, come on now. Stay silent. Hmm. He said then. Jiang, let's go, Jimin. Yoongi, come home direct from university. Oh, he said he laughed nervously. Jimin, we do lunch. We do lunch outside. Yoongi, I said, come home. Jiang, please, Young, it's about lunch. We come back before you know it. Jungkook, alright, you guys can go, but take with you. Yoongi, and if I call you, attend on one wing. Jimin nodded. Jimin, alright, we are going by. Jungkook, he is going. Hmm. And Jiang and Jimin sit in the classroom talking with each other when the professor comes. They sign to see him. They greet him and now sit professor. So guys, you do your assignments. Everyone said yes, and he started to collect the assignments one by one. Taeyang and Jimin also give their assignments, and then he give the lecture. They listen carefully, and after class, everyone go. They are talking and packing their bags. Professor, you both stay here. He said then. Taeyang and Jimin look at each other, but they don't say anything. And stop. Professor, why your answer is same? Because you give us the same question. He said, then Jimin start laughing. Professor Mr. Min. Jimin stays silent. Jimin, it's not the same, sir. The concept is same. Professor, how? Jiang, we are best friends, sir. We help each other in studies. So it's happened. It's not the same. You said we do to each other. Professor, I know you both well. Jimin, but we don't do anything, sir. Professor, think for some times, and then he become he become and go from the chair. Thank you, sir. They come and sit in the restaurant chair. You see, uh, they sit on the chair and give the order. Jimin, he think we let him us. Yeah, exactly. I don't understand what says why he do this, huh? Jimin same. Like we don't even talk with him. Taeyang, I think he feel. Jimin of what? Taeyang, you heard about the he have with the principal daughter. Jimin, this is not. It's true. Everyone know. Taeyang, exactly. And we always do top in his class, and she don't. Jimin saw Jiang. Maybe that's why she always come on second number. Jimin, now it's making sense. He wants she do top Jiang. Yes, he is trying his best to Jimin. Now I understand. Jiang, but he don't know what he is doing, Jimin. If he ever my one because of her. I said Yoongi. He said, and Chiang started laughing. Chiang, seriously? Jimin, of course. Now I understand why he is doing this. Chiang, I also think all this yesterday, Jimin. That's why Jen us so much. Even is not our subject, but still we got good marks. Chiang, that's the thing now. See what she do. I know, Professor something. Jimin, so we have to be more careful. Chang, yeah, we do, but if he think to do something, we simply tell our aunt, you know what they do. Jimin, whenever I think this, I just feel like Yoongi come and I him. Chang, same Cook. Because of Cook, my life is so beautiful, Jimin, yeah. Them we are Yoongi glad to know, he said, and Jimin eyes widened. He turned and see Yoongi, Jimin, Yoongi and Chaeyoung, Jungkook. Jimin, you are here? When? How? Jungkook, well, we thought to do lunch with you both. Chaeyoung, that's amazing. Yoongi, I think someone is here's their feelings. He said, and they sit on the chair. Jimin, really? But we don't said anything. We do, Taeyang? He raised his eyebrow. Taeyang, no, we don't. Jungkook, really? But we heard. Jimin, I don't said anything. Yoongi, he said, and they start laughing. Their order come, Taeyang, but we don't order this much food. Jungkook, we do. He said and start to eat. Jimin, now we don't have to. Also, who Yoongi? Oh, you both do. It's straight from you both, Jimin, and may I know the reason why? Yoongi, why? I always give you treats, so it's okay. If you do also, Jimin, okay. He said, and Yoongi start. Yoongi, really? Jimin, yeah. Yoongi look at Jungkook, who's also shocked, and look at Jung, whose spoon is in the air. Jimin, what? Jung, seriously, you never do this with me. Jimin, but now I said I so yeah, I do. He said, and Jungi him the spoon of food. Jimin, I do. You guys need to believe me. Jungkook, it's well not easy. He said, and Jungi continued to him. They all They all do the dinner and then waiter come. Jimin take from the table and Yoongi wait. What is this? Jimin, you said I pay, so I do. He said Taeyang and Jungkook start laughing. Taeyang, I understand. Jimin, what? Your is my so I. Yoongi, what I said here. He said, and Jimin giggled. They all stand up. Yoongi, Jungkook, drop them home. I see you in evening. Jimin, come home. He said, and whisper Yoongi, and why Jimin do as I said. He said, and Yoongi nodded. Yoongi, as your order, Mera, beast. As your order, anything else I can do for you, Jimin? No, just this. He's, huh? He said, and Yoongi nodded. Yoongi, see you soon. It's evening. Jimin sit in the room waiting for Yoongi to come. Yoongi come and Jimin stand up to see him. Jimin smile. He him. Yoongi also. Yoongi, what happened? You are looking so happy today. Jimin, because I am. He said and back. Yoongi, okay. You can tell me, Jimin, but Yoongi, but promise you want me. Yoongi, I don't. Jimin, Yoongi, I am. He don't know how to tell him. He's feeling so nervous. Yoongi, tell me. You know you can share everything with me. Jimin, Yoongi, I am. He said, hold his hand. Yoongi, Jimin, what you? He stopped as he looked at Jimin and Yoongi eyes widened to see him. Yoongi, Jimin, you, Jimin, I am. Yoongi, you are. Jimin nodded. Yoongi, you are Jimin. Jimin nodded with a smile and Yoongi, Jimin, I am so happy. I am going to be. He said. Jimin, see him. Jimin, yes. Yoongi, we also. Jimin, yes. Yoongi, Jimin, what? When you got to know when you are Jimin yesterday, but I don't got time to tell you. Yoongi, Jimin, Yoongi, really? Wait, you are okay? You go university also, Jimin? Yeah, I am all fine. That's why I said don't me. I don't tell you, Yoongi. I never even after knowing there's no way. He said on his forehead. Jimin chuckled to see him. Hmm. And Yoongi, I don't know. I don't know what I do. Jimin, I am the world's happiest person. Jimin, me too. Yoongi, why you stand up? Huh? You take rest. You sit on the. He said, and Jimin chuckled. Jimin, Yoongi, what is this? Yoongi, I don't let you know. You just do rest, nothing else. He said, and Jimin chuckled to see him. Jimin, okay, okay. Yoongi, sit in front of him. Yoongi, you have to eat something. You must be hungry. Jimin, I don't want anything and I am not hungry, Yoongi. Come on, Yoongi, no, I bring dinner for you here. You do dinner here. Jimin starts laughing to see him. Jimin, it just starts, Yoongi, and I am all okay. Hmm. hmm. Yoongi, I don't know. I said you take rest, so you do. Jimin, okay, okay. Anything else? Yoongi, thank you. He said, and is become happy. Hmm. Some days pass. Days pass. इन्होंने आई है. Some days pass like this. Yoongi take care of Jimin a lot. Now they are doing the breakfast and talking. They are now deciding Jimin go university or not. Jimin, I want to go. Yoongi, you don't go. It's not for you. Jimin, Taeyang will be with me. Yoongi, it's just the last day. Let me go. Yoongi, but Taeyang, he's saying right, Yoongi, I will be there with him. I understand you, but you can trust me. Yoongi, I do, Taeyang, but I don't. Just Jimin. He said, and Jimin make up out. Jimin, Taeyang, it's okay. I take care of him. Jimin, it's just for if you are saying, but remember, I still don't want you go. Jungkook, well, Yoongi is also right on his place. Yoongi, alright, you can go, Jimin, but Jimin, I have to attend your call on one wing. Yoongi, yes. Jimin, I do now. Happy? Yoongi nodded, but she is still. Jimin chuckled to see him. Jimin chuckled to see him. Yoongi, I drop you university. Jimin, that's amazing. Okay, they reach university. Reach university. Okay, they reach university and sit in the class. They take classes and now packing their bags to leave. When the principal daughter come, listen me, you both, Taeyang, if we don't. He sat and raised his eyebrow. Jimin starts laughing. Listen, don't be so with me, Jimin. If we be, then you both are trying to Mr. Kim, huh? He said, and then both look at each other and start laughing. Jimin, what you think that, huh? Here's so much. Look, Jiang, my Jungkook is so handsome, but I never him. Jimin, because you no need to. Jiang, that's also true. Stay from here. Jimin, we are not even to him. You speak too much, Jimin. Yoongi also said this, but he this so much. He said and become happy to think about him. Don't be so, you both. He said and Taeyang become serious now. Taeyang, what you do? You do, huh? He said in tune. You want to know, huh? Jimin, it's good for you. Go from here, otherwise I don't. You, he said, and as he heard so much, they about to go. You, Jimin, I will you. What you do, huh? He said, and again, Jimin about. But Tang hauled him gladly. Jimin, you will stay in your. Tang, you okay? Jimin nodded. You know. She said, and she started to her and Jimin and Taeyang. Huh? And Taeyang eyes widened. Jimin, what are you? What are you doing? Now see. She started Taeyang again, new drama. He said and signed she's Mr. Kim. Mr. Kim, what's happening here? They both me. He said and Jimin. He said, and Jimin and Taeyang start laughing. Mr. Kim, you both, I see you both in principal office, at principal office right now. Taeyang, but we have conditions. You call at our home. He said, Ping and Mr. Kim. Jimin and Taeyang take their bags and they both go in principal office. मेरा 5 minute. And they both go in principal office. Second last scene. Jimin and Taeyang. Jimin and Taeyang stand on the corner in principal office. Mr. Kim sit on the chair and she sit there. While the principal is looking, so of course she is his daughter. Taeyang, she is looking. Jimin just not just looking, he sat and roll his eyes and Jiang try not to laugh. Principal, don't you both want to say something? Jimin, no sir. Principal, give your number. Jimin, yeah please. He tell Yoongi number. Principal, and your Jiang, just call him. Jungkook come by himself. He said being innocent and principal become more and Jiang try not to laugh. And then principal called Yoongi and said to him, come here, and he said about Jiang also. Jimin, he's when I heard he while rolling his eyes. Not even 10 minutes pass. The door opened. Yoongi and Jungkook come. Yoongi, you okay? He see Jimin and Jim principal eyes widened to see them. He standed and Mr. Kim star. Jungkook, tell me, you okay? Taeyang nodded. Yoongi, you are really fine, right? Oh, really? Jimin, I am all fine. He said, Yoongi again him. Jimin, Shimi, but Taeyang help me. So I don't, he said, and Jungi become he back and look at the principal who stand there being shocked. Jungi come sit here. He said Jimin to sit on the chair. A principal shocked to see them. Jungkook, that's good to hear you know us. He said, and he also sit on the chair. Jungi went to the principal who take his steps back. He go and sit down principal chair. Jungi, why you call us principal? They this girl Jungkook, huh? They don't even know how to apple. I don't believe principal, but you can see. He said, "Being Yoongi, tell me, Taeyang, what happens?" Taeyang explained everything, how she come and said all this. Yoongi, what? He looked at Mr. Kim, who was looking down. Jungkook, he is a professor, right? Jimin, yes. Jungkook, stand up and stand in front of him. Yoongi, I don't believe what you have. Principal, you can see her. Yoongi, check the. He said, and Jen has widened. Jen, what? How can she forget about this? Oh, about this. Yoongi, what happens now? Happens now? He said, Jen. Let then Jimin see her and roll his eyes. Yoongi chuckled to see Jimin. Principal, yeah, we can. Jen, wait. She said, Jen. They all look at her. Jen, they don't do anything, Mr. Kim. Search me. Yoongi, what happened? He said, and wait. Um, he and Mr. You promise you don't tell anyone. A Jungkook smart girl, he said, and Jungkook looked at him and she, Yoongi, wait, Jungkook, we see him later, he said, and Yoongi stand up. He looked at the principal. Yoongi, this is how you your students are. Me, I will take care of this from now on. Yoongi, good for you. Hmm. You and if you if you think to do something, remember you are with your. He said, and hold Jimin hand. Yoongi, you now, but be careful from next time. Jungkook, I don't him. He said, and Jang also go. Jungkook see him, and chuckle. Jungkook, you think this him? Jang, I can try. He said, and starts laughing. Jungkook, go home. I see you at home. Jang nodded. Jimin, let's go. We see a lot drama today. Yoongi, don't you both feel? Jimin, why would I when we know we don't do anything? Jihyung, and mostly we know you, no matter what you guys come to us. Jungkook, that's here. He said and point on his eye and they go. Okay. Last scene and the third last text. Finally, time skip. Sometimes pass. Sometimes pass. Jimin is now, and this is not easy for Yoongi, but he enjoy a lot. It's midnight when Yoongi come in the kitchen. He see Jimin is eating. Yoongi, what are you doing? He said, and Jimin look up. He hide the jar. Yoongi, what you are hiding? Jimin, nothing. Yoongi, you are eating again. He said, and Jimin make a pouch. Yoongi takes step toward him, and he see the jar is empty. Yoongi, you wake me up if you are feeling hungry. Jimin, but I am still hungry. Yoongi, oh, still feeling hungry. Jimin nodded. Jimin, can you make something for me? Yoongi, sure. What you want to eat? Okay, last in the second last text. Okay, Jimin, I eat noodles. He said, then Yoongi chuckle. Yoongi, he signed and started to make noodles. As Jimin said, Jimin, Yoongi, you know I like you, Jimin. I want like you, Yoongi. Really, Jimin? Yeah, Yoongi. I can't wait now, Jimin. Now sometimes I left Yoongi right. He said, Done with making noodles. He plays ball in front of Jimin, who start to eat like he don't eat from a long time. Yoongi chuckled as Jimin finished the noodle. Jimin is finished so soon, he said, and Yoongi chuckled. Yoongi, you are too much, you know, he said, and Jimin smiled. Jimin gave him water, and Yoongi, Iman? Iman? Okay, so last scene and the last text. Okay, so please ignore the background voices. Hope so you all like. If you like, then subscribe and tell me in comments. Bye bye. Take care of yourself, Saranghaeeee. See you all in the next video. Yoongi, that's good. Let's go and sleep now. Okay, so it's finished soon. Bye bye. Take care of yourself, Saranghaeeee. Yeah, finish.